Every man at some point faces this invisible battlefield, one he never prepared for. It isn't about fists, money, or power. It's about something far more subtle and far more dangerous. It's the moment she shifts from warm to cold without warning. The moment she pulls away just as you thought you had her. That sudden distance, that confusing silence, that hot and cold storm that makes you question everything about yourself. And here's the harsh truth. Most men fail right there. Not because they aren't worthy, not because they lack value, but because they've never been taught what this test really is. They panic, they chase, they beg, they explain themselves into weakness. And with every desperate move, attraction fades, respect dies, and the relationship crumbles in silence. But listen closely. Women don't act hot and cold by accident. It's not random mood swings. It's not just her personality. It's a test of your frame, a test of your composure, a test of whether you can remain unshaken when the emotional storm hits. Because deep down, she isn't looking for perfection. She's looking for strength, for steadiness, for a man who doesn't fold under pressure. And that, brother, is where Stoic philosophy becomes more than an old idea in a dusty book. It becomes your weapon, your armor, your code. Because the Stoics taught us, you can't control the storm, but you can control yourself. And in relationships, that truth is everything. This is not about playing games. This is not about tricks or fake confidence. This is about mastering the one thing that decides whether she respects you or forgets you. That one thing is you. Here at Stoic Reflections, we don't sugarcoat. We don't give you feel-good lies. We deal in hard truths, the kind most men wish someone had told them sooner. Truths that can save you years of wasted energy, heartbreak, and regret. So, if you've ever felt the sting of being ignored after giving your all, if you've ever asked yourself, why did she suddenly change? If you've ever felt that pull to chase when she pulled away, this video is for you. Because today, I'm going to show you how to flip the script, how to stop failing the test, how to stand in the storm with calm strength so she sees you, not as a man desperate for her approval, but as a man she cannot ignore. Welcome to Stoic Reflections, the place where we sharpen men with timeless wisdom for modern battles. 1. Stop reacting. Start observing. The first mistake most men make when a woman goes hot and cold is simple. They react. She doesn't reply for hours and instantly your chest tightens. You grab your phone, type a second message, then a third, hoping to fix the silence. She suddenly seems distant in person and you rush to ask, "Did I do something wrong? Are you upset with me?" But here's the brutal truth. Every time you react like that, you hand over the power. You tell her without words that her mood dictates yours. You make her the sun and you become the planet that revolves around her. And the moment she realizes she can push your buttons that easily, one of two things will happen. She'll lose respect or she'll test you harder. Either way, you lose. A man without control of himself can never hold the respect of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." When you react emotionally, you've given that power away. You've told her, "My calm depends on your warmth." And no woman wants to carry that burden. So what's the alternative? You stop being the defendant, and you become the detective. The defendant panics. He explains. He argues his case, desperate to prove innocence. But the detective, he collects clues quietly. He observes. He notices patterns without revealing emotion. He sees the bigger picture before he makes a move. That's who you must become. A calm observer, steady, unshaken, not cold, not careless, but composed. When she pulls away, you don't chase, you don't interrogate, you simply note it. You keep moving with your life. You refuse to let her behavior dictate your state of mind. Imagine this. You send her a text in the morning. Hours pass, no reply. By evening, she finally sends a short, dry answer. Most men would panic, double text, maybe even call, but you note it, stay calm, and carry on with your day. No confrontation, no drama, just observation. And then, when she suddenly turns warm again, laughing, affectionate, leaning close, you note that too. Over time, the pattern emerges. Maybe her distance has nothing to do with you. It's stress from work, family pressure, or even her own insecurities. But you wouldn't see that truth if you reacted emotionally every time. This is the power of step 1. When you stop reacting and start observing, you reclaim your frame. You send the message, "I am not easily shaken." And here's the secret. Women find that steadiness irresistible because while most men crumble under emotional pressure, the man who stays calm becomes a mystery. He becomes a challenge. He becomes the one she cannot easily control. And in that moment, the dynamic shifts. Instead of her testing you, she starts questioning herself. 2. Pull back twice as hard. Here's where most men destroy themselves. The moment she pulls away, they panic. They feel her slipping, and instead of standing firm, they start pushing harder. More texts, more calls, more desperate attempts to win back the warmth she once gave freely. They start buying gifts, over-explaining, or creating excuses just to see her again. But every single time, it backfires. Why? Because when you reward her distance with more attention, you teach her the wrong lesson. It's like giving a child candy for ignoring you. You've told her, the colder you become, the harder I'll chase. And that's the fastest way to lose respect. Listen carefully. Attraction doesn't grow when you chase, it dies. If she takes a step back, you must take 2. If she delays her reply by hours, you delay longer. If she cancels plans, you don't rush to reschedule, you let it go and keep moving. This is not about cruelty. This is not about punishing her. This is about balance, about showing, through your actions, that your life does not collapse when someone withdraws. Too many men have been brainwashed into believing that persistence equals strength, that if she pulls away, a real man must fight harder, prove himself, and chase until she sees his worth. But let me tell you the truth. That's not persistence. That's weakness wearing a mask. That's neediness disguised as effort. A man who values himself does not beg for someone's attention. He doesn't compete for love that should be freely given. He doesn't fight for a seat at a table where his presence is questioned. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop rewarding distance, the dynamic shifts. Suddenly, she starts to feel the gap. She starts to wonder, why isn't he chasing me? Did I lose him? Did I push too far? That's when curiosity awakens. That's when her mind re-engages. Not because you convinced her with words, but because your silence spoke louder than anything you could have said. Think about it. If she spends a week replying cold and short, most men would break down, confront her, or flood her phone. But you pull back. You stay focused on your gym session, your work, your mission. You give her nothing to feed on. And in that silence, she begins to feel the weight of her own distance. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And here's the Stoic truth. When she withdraws, your reaction determines everything. Panic proves weakness. Patience proves strength. Pulling back is not about revenge. It's not about teaching her a lesson. It's about protecting your dignity and refusing to play a losing game. Because the man who refuses to beg, the man who can walk away without breaking, that man will always command respect. So remember this. When she pulls away, you don't close the gap. You widen it. You show her that your world keeps moving, with or without her. And in that silence, she will feel something she never expected to feel, the fear of losing you. 3. Replace her with your mission. Here's the truth most men never want to admit. The fastest way to lose a woman's respect is to make her the center of your world. The more your life revolves around her, the faster attraction fades. At first, she might enjoy the attention, the constant validation, the feeling that she's the reason you wake up every morning. But deep down, something begins to shift. She no longer sees you as the grounded man she was drawn to. She starts to feel the weight of being your only source of purpose. And here's the paradox of attraction. When she realizes your entire identity depends on her approval, she doesn't feel more secure, she feels less. She doesn't feel admiration, she feels pressure. And pressure kills desire. A man must live for something greater than her. That something is his mission. Your mission is your anchor. It's the fire that drives you when no one's watching. It's the discipline that wakes you up at dawn, the work you pour yourself into, the vision that keeps you moving forward, regardless of who stays or who leaves. When you abandon your mission to chase her, you lose yourself. You stop going to the gym, you stop pursuing your career, you stop pushing toward your dreams, all in the name of making her happy. And while she might smile at first, deep inside she feels it. The man she respected has vanished. He's no longer the storm she admired. He's the calm pond that waits for her stone to ripple its surface. But when you keep your mission first, everything changes. You don't ignore her, you simply refuse to worship her. She becomes part of your journey, not the reason for it. And that shift in energy is magnetic. Imagine this: she's distant, cold, pulling away. Instead of sitting at home overthinking, stalking her social media, or drafting long paragraphs to win her back, you throw yourself into your mission. You train harder, you build your business, you sharpen your mind, you grow in silence. And without saying a word, you've sent her the strongest message possible. I don't stop for you. I don't crumble because of you. My life moves with or without you. That is power. That is presence. That is what women respect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." Remember that. If your only ambition is her approval, you've already lost. But if your ambition is to build, to grow, to conquer yourself and the world around you, she will feel that energy without you chasing her. And here's the truth. The man on a mission doesn't need to prove his value. His value radiates through his actions, his confidence rises, his time becomes scarce, his energy becomes rare. And what is rare is always desired. So replace her with your mission. Not because she doesn't matter, but because you matter more. Let her walk beside you if she chooses, but never stop walking, never stop building, never stop moving forward. Because the man who lives for something greater than her is the man she will never forget. So here's the truth, brother. Hot and cold behavior isn't random. It isn't some mysterious female mood swing that you can't understand. It's a test. A silent, unspoken test of your strength. Most men fail because they treat her attention like oxygen, believing they'll suffocate without it. They react, they chase, they beg, and in doing so they prove exactly why they lose. But you don't have to be like most men. You've seen the blueprint. 1. Stop reacting, start observing. Become the calm detective, not the desperate defendant. 2. Pull back twice as hard. Refuse to reward her distance with attention. Show her your world doesn't collapse without her. 3. Replace her with your mission. Live for something greater than her approval. Let your ambition, discipline, and growth become the flame she cannot ignore. This isn't about games. This isn't about manipulation. This is about becoming the man who cannot be shaken because his foundation is deeper than her moods. This is about embodying Stoicism in the arena of love and attraction. And that kind of man is unforgettable. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Think about that. Her hot and cold storms are external, but your reaction, that's yours to master. And mastery is what separates the weak from the strong. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, have you faced this test? Have you dealt with hot and cold behavior before? What mistakes did you make? And what lessons did you learn? Share it, because when men sharpen men, we all rise stronger. And remember, this channel isn't here to feed you sugar-coated lies. This is Stoic Reflections, a place where ancient wisdom meets modern struggle, a place where we strip away the noise and face the hard truths together. So if you're ready to keep sharpening yourself, don't just watch and move on. Hit that like button, subscribe, and join this brotherhood. Stay sharp, stay grounded. This is Stoic Reflections, and this is where men are forged.